Uh-huh. Yeah. I understand the results. They're alarming. They're alarming. But Doc, did you see some of the matchups we had and the results this weekend on the qualifier slate? I understand it's hurting my heart. Okay, I get it. But Doc, what are you even suggesting here? Taking the qualifiers off? No. I'm sorry, Doc. I can't. Oh, get that out of the way. Sorry, folks, for the interruption, but we are back for the second edition of North American League of Legends Plays of the Week Qualifiers Edition. Maybe the most chaotic weekend of qualifiers action I've ever seen. And that means we've got extra clips for you guys if you missed any of the action. 10 whole clips across the lower bracket, upper bracket, every aspect of the second weekend for the 2025 NACL Qualifiers. And without further ado, let's jump into our first clip of many. And we're going to start where the weekend started off here on the mainstream. Ducky Gators taking on Slated 6. And we're going to focus in on Enthralled, who breaks every single rule 80 carry players live and abide by. With a little bit of help from Shelly, actually turns one of the most marvelous fight wins you're going to see all weekend long.
Slated 6, they got to scramble to get into position to get over here and to be able to contest. Look at Enthralled just launching himself in with the Rift Herald. Pops the ultimate, gets right in there, and here's the engage. It's going to be knocking back multiple members from Tub, but they are just melting them all. It's Renekton plus Vayne tearing through these health bars. Enthralled plays frontline Vayne and completely demolishes the fight for the Ducky Getters.
What did Enthralled just do?
It's really cool to see, despite the fact this Ducky Gators team isn't the same as the last qualifiers we've seen them in, they still find those creative ways to win games, from draft and now to just Rift Herald shenanigans from Enthralled. Ducky Gators with 2-0 Slated 6 to move further forward in that upper bracket. But it's time to shift down to the lower side and hype up a bit of a collegiate battle here. CLOL championships are not far away, so this could be a potential preview for a later bracket in the year. It was UCI Esports taking on Fisher College. One of these two teams was going to walk away from the entire tournament, and jungler for Fisher College, Burns, knew it in game one, showing why Pantheon is such a prio pick in Season 15.
Use space, and that actually going to be dangerous as we see it right now. We're going to jump into Rosethorn. He's going to drop low quickly. Does not have Stormbringer available, so he's going to get saved by a Locket to keep him alive. Gilby in the front line. Charm does land onto Yayo. He's now the main focus. Drompus finds himself in the middle of a storm, and he's going to drop it. Hang on, Cerulean ends up being the main target for Fisher. A nice stun from Yayo comes through the tower, drops. Pantheon ult going to come sweep in. A nice stun onto Weye. Does shut him down. Burns leading the front line for his team. Fisher, Gorka on the backside, trying to do what he can. Does claim up Burns, but Brabro and Sword Blue there to shut him down.
Fisher College would take a 2-0 victory over UCI in two games that were completely back and forth the entire time, but FC keep their qualifiers run alive in the lower bracket. But they aren't the only college team alive in the lower bracket right now for the qualifiers. We're going to go over to another matchup from this side. St. Clair College taking on Fantastic 5. And this one is awesome to see for St. Clair ball numbers. Ricky LaFleur was one of the stars of their CLOL championship run just a year prior. And he comes back into the St. Clair lineup and does exactly what Ricky LaFleur does. Runs down enemy teams, this time on his patented Olaf pick. Take a look.
Best on the back line. I don't think they have vision of this, but
they don't.
Context clues might indicate
now
that
they know
might be here. Yeah, now they exactly know where Geiger's gonna be.
They
but
Kalista,
it's a smite
please.
battle. Maddie, something has to be done here just to make sure they can secure it. It's gonna go the way of the Saints. It's not even gonna be Maddie.
Oh, big miracle!
A huge miracle ult. They are succumbing
Look at Ricky,
to the
look at
virus.
Ricky.
Ricky gunning in. He's low, but that won't
He got the
matter.
reset.
Swiping them down, beating
Oh
them.
my god, Ricky!
Ricky LaFleur, give it to him.
Penta!
Oh, no.
I'm blasting this out onto the airwaves right now. Do not sleep on this St. Clair roster in the qualifiers and even for the potential CLOL championship I keep talking about. Enough collegiate love for now, though. We still have to focus in on just how crazy of a lower bracket this is, and our next clip really points out why. We're going to take a look at Citadel taking on Galaxy Gaming, two teams that were tiered in the top 10 power rankings wise for this entire tournament, having to face off for their tournament lives here. But Citadel look like they've finally figured things out here in this big time Dragon team fight. They'll take the 2-0 over Galaxy Gaming, and it's really hard to point out one guy who stands out in this fight. It's just Citadel looking like the Citadel we expected in this tournament, maybe right at the best time.
Way to get into this one. Cozy doesn't have the Narbar at all. He's got his ultimate, but it doesn't really do much in mid-Nar. Kim down goes over with the Hex Flash. Ariandel trying to find the big scout of the week, but Bradley zoning him completely off, and he's 2 levels up, and he's going to make it. Ariandel's problem just deletes him. 1v1 says, get out of my league. I'm going to the NACL, baby. I'm getting back up to the top. Armeo is going to take us there. It's a double for him. It's an ace. It's Mountain Soul. It's everything.
Citadel Esports are now one of the 10 remaining teams left in the qualifiers, playing for just one final spot to NACL promotion. And if they're playing like they did against Galaxy Gaming, it's hard to bet against them to take that spot. But enough love towards a juggernaut dropping in the lower bracket. It's time for what we really all came here for, what this weekend will be remembered for, folks. The most chaotic qualifier weekend of the past couple of years. And we'll start it out with maybe the single biggest comeback game win from the lower bracket on this one. The reason why my cardiologist had to make an emergency phone call to make sure I was okay. We're gonna take a look at Gravity taking on Saving Private Dozer in the lower bracket. Saving Private Dozer were down over 9,000 gold just 5 minutes before this clip comes in, but it just does not matter. PCL's Gwen sets them up, and NACL's Ezreal breaks the game open for Saving Private Dozer to win a climactic game 1 out of completely nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, Saving Private Dozer have bought themselves the one big fight they want, up for Elder later. But PCL, like you mentioned, is just completely caught here. Does a ton of damage, so that needlework is getting so much value. PCL won't die. Sagewabe and Shimmer both have to flash to create enough space to find that first kill. But now Cross wants some action. In goes Drew Dozer. Good route from Shimmer to make sure the Cross don't find him. But all Calamity's down next. And now it's the Hyper Take Scion that has to stand tall and keep all of Saving Private Dozer at bay. Robbie Bob has been walking his way down to the river. But buddy, you're too late to the party. Saving Private Dozer have accomplished their mission. Down goes Shimmer. Makel's chasing down Sagewabe. Down he falls as well. It has to be Robbie Bob, the veteran for Gravity. Both of the solo laners, the UNC status of this team, have to find the win, but it's just not gonna be enough. Makel is looking for the quadra kill. He's gonna get it. Saving Private Dozer out of nowhere.
Just an amazing comeback for Saving Private Dozer, and the additional context to this one is, if they don't win that game 1, they might not go on to even force a game 3 and knock Gravity out of the qualifiers, but that's exactly what ISUB team, aka Saving Private Dozer, got done to kick off our run of upsets. But speaking on those upsets, folks, they were not just reserved to this lower bracket. They were kicking off right off rip in the upper bracket as well. We go next to Dorado Gaming taking on Galaxy Gaming in the upper bracket here. Went to a game 3 as well, and it's Royal I want to highlight on this Aurora, just making team fights unbearable for Galaxy Gaming to push Dorado across the edge and into an upset series win.
Trying to set a trap. They want to look for a Nori. Nori has summoners available, but Nukes might be looking for something. There's the flash headbutt pulverize. They found the Kog'Maw, but this is not the carry flash.
Oh my lord.
But take a look at Royal once again. It's going to be between worlds. It's going to be a knock-up once again. 3 members have fallen, and Nori B's trying to kite it out. A couple autos will kill a Nori.
Really cool to see as a veteran of the tier 3 space, an organization like Dorado Gaming, who have routinely dominated a lot of those diamond to master level tournaments that are run across tier 3, to see them now in the NACL qualifiers putting together a roster that's creating plays like this. But we've got more upsets to get to, folks, and we'll stay in the upper bracket here. We saw the Ducky Getters get a big win over Slated 6, and now it's time for everything to come full circle thanks to the Friendly Fellas. If you're not familiar with Moose Hater, this clip will introduce you to one of the most unique top lane players North American Developmental has to offer. Watch how his patent Zach Top wins this fight and series for Friendly Fellas to send them to a matchup against Near Airport.
I'm just marking her. You guys can, okay, goes in. Aura has charm back up. Zen flash. Zach's on me. Can we get Aura, guys? Nice.
Moose Hater doing Moose Hater things on his patent, and Zach will always be fun to watch no matter what year the calendar says we are in. We're going to stay in the upper bracket, though, and talk about the qualifiers and what teams were really suited to promote here. Outside of Double Lift and Near Airport, coming into this tournament, there were 3 teams that were suited to promote into the NACL. It was Citadel, who we already talked about, are currently in the lower bracket, Respawn Esports, who got knocked down to the lower bracket just a bit prior to this clip by Near Airport, and then it was Tempest Gaming. An upset weekend came for their throats. Tempest taking on Dog Fans, and it's Nightstar and company, and Aurelian Soul pick from Like a Moz in Game 3 to send the final Titan of this qualifier down to the lower bracket in bombastic fashion.
Any further, Hoarder trying to take out that control ward will be able to do so. Manui jumping onto the back line. GA for Nightstar means that there's no reset to be had on the back end. Tempered Fate going to connect onto Aaron. It's a huge play from Dog Fans. They're going to be able to get the shutdown. 3 kills already down. Kizno needs a miracle to make this play work, but it's going to be 4 kills. Chasing down the 5th is Like a Moss, and I think that that's going to do it. Dog Fans with the right play at the right time. Hoarder looking for the counter, has the ulti, going all out, going to try to find some damage, but it's an ace.
Now, I was a little bit late to this trend, but I want to make sure I hop on the Nightstar train. This guy might be my pick for the qualifiers MVP, the way he is playing for Dog Fans right now. But I mentioned some of these matchups for the NACL promotion spot. Let's now go back to the Friendly Fellas taking on the undefeated Near Airport squad. We're going to go into game 2 of a best of 5, by the way, folks, for that promotion spot. And it's TF Blade and Pobelter on the Yone Azir, timing up for an awesome Wombo combo. You know I couldn't leave a Wombo combo off of Slayer's Plays of the Week. Take a look at this mastery.
And they're saying, screw the Otacon, we want the whole thing. Blade!
Fate Sealed hits 4! What a play! Speak on Friends! Poe Belter pushing them away! Commanding his forces! It's Wixie on the side! He finds the kill! But he falls to double lift! Tyson is low! Griffin is low! So many members are low! Griffin goes back in! TF Blade is healthy and rejoins! Speak is able to walk it out! Disaster strikes for the Friendly Fellas!
Thanks in large part to TF Blade and Pobelter, who would have been my 2 picks for series MVP up against Friendly Fellas. Near Airport becomes the first team to qualify to the North American Challengers League out of the qualifiers bracket with an undefeated run, by the way, as they 3-0'd Friendly Fellas. So congratulations to the old legends of NA Pass. But I can already hear the noise ringing in the comment section, folks. Slayer, where's AMI at? Slayer, where are we gonna get the Apex Mission Impossible series? I can hear Shibby screaming at me right now, yelling for the year of low jazz. And fellas, I saved the best one for last. Dog Fans taking on Apex Mission Impossible for the other NACL spot, and this series was an absolute banger. To be honest, folks, if you've got time, go back and watch the highlights from this series, because we're gonna jump in to game number 5, the final fight that sealed Dog Fans or AMI going to the NACL, playing out at good old-fashioned Baron Nashor. Take a look.
Flash out of there, brother.
50 seconds on Elder.
Maybe they are just committing here. 50 seconds left on this Elder.
Oh my God,
buff. King
flip.
Clueless pops it. Solo! Low Jazz steals the Baron, and now they're just running all over them. 2 kills for 5, and he lightning crash down. Bass is taking it forward. Like a Mouse in the Baron. It's not enough. The bullet time gets nothing done. A weird fight with a fantastic outcome for AMI. That's it. Canada, stand up.
I know I've stressed this on a couple of podcast episodes and social media posts, but I want to take a moment here to just say one final congratulations to one of my favorite orgs in Tier 3 over the past year. Congratulations, Apex Mission Impossible, for making it to the North American Challengers League. Near Airport and AMI take up 2 of the 3 spots for the NACL, but the action does not stop here. We have one final weekend coming. Unfortunately, though, that does bring us to the end of the 2nd edition of North America League of Legends Plays of the Week Qualifiers Edition. Before we get out of here, I'm going to stress one final point to you guys, that I mentioned in last weekend's episode. If you guys are watching the qualifiers and find awesome clips from the many matchups we're going to have from the lower bracket, please do not hesitate to tag me in a post, send them to me in Discord DMs, Twitter, X DMs, wherever you can. I want to put clips up that you guys want to see more than the ones that I can find scrubbing VODs. But thank you again, everybody that's already sent clips and everybody that's watching at home. We have one final weekend, 10 teams all playing for a final spot in the North American Challengers League. But until we get to that final weekend, take care, and I'll see you next week to wrap up this special edition of NA League of Legends Plays of the Week.